Stop living in the Stone Ages. There are 6 apps that you should definitely be using if you're a business owner. I use them for all of the businesses and projects and crazy stuff that I've got going on every day, and I think without them, I would not be able to function. It is so much easier to run a business right now than it's ever been. So there's 6 different apps that I use, or pieces of software that I think every single one of you should be using. So the first one, with my electrical contracting company, when I'm out in the field or I'm at the office and I need to manage all of the crazy jobs that I've got going on, I use Jobber. So I've used a lot of different field services kind of software out there in the past, and Jobber is so simple to use. There's not a whole bunch of frilly, crazy extra stuff that distracts you from what you're supposed to be doing. It's essentially a CRM, so it's a customer relationship management software. It keeps all of your customer data, what the addresses are, any gate codes or lockbox codes or anything like that that you need to know. You can do all of your invoicing and your estimating straight through it. You can collect payments through email, so you literally send somebody an invoice, they click pay through the email. It's like super, super simple. But it also has a whole bunch of other like just crazy features. So I can let a customer know when I'm on the way. So if I'm driving down the road and I'm like 30 minutes out, I can just go boom, and it sends them an automated message that's just like, hey, just letting you know, I'm on my way, I'm about 30 minutes out, be there soon. Customers love that. They love like when people can over communicate and follow through. And really the best thing about it is that it does scheduling. So you can dispatch all of your jobs. If you've got like 10 different employees and they're all running service calls all around town, it's a way for you to assign different jobs to different people. So no matter what size workforce that you have, it's a way for you to dispatch and keep track of your schedule. And everything syncs with calendars. So if you have like a Google Calendar, another one I'm going to talk about here in a second, it syncs in with that calendar. So you can see everything that you've got going on. You can control every one of your jobs, and you can actually invoice and estimate because it keeps your pricing in there. So you can put specific pricing items like, this is my hourly rate and this is what I charge for certain equipment rental, and every single material that you want to put in there that you charge for, and you just drag and drop basically, and it does all of the pricing for you. It's so killer. So like, why use an Excel spreadsheet and try to mess around with dealing with stuff in Excel when there's something that's just so much better at doing it? So definitely recommend that you guys try Jobber. The second thing that I use religiously, and if I could shake all of y'all to just change your life around doing this, is having a calendar that's on your phone. Where is my phone? So this thing, we have our phone on us everywhere we go, right? A lot of people don't like dealing with the digital calendar thing because it's not as big and you can't write stuff all over it and flip pages. Some of y'all are using planners, and that's fine. I've had little like pocketbook planner things that I bring, but I always leave them on a job site, leave them at a customer's house, forget them at my house, and I'm now at the shop and I'm like, crap. So just having something physical like that you can leave around, it's not so emotionally tied to your existence, it's just not as good of a method. If you can get yourself on a calendar app, and I just recommend Google because it syncs with everything. Everybody makes an app and then they're like, how can we sync this with Google, right? Because it's just so big. But there's also other things like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Keep. There's all kinds of stuff that you can work with Google in the Google Suite with. But the Google Calendar is just so easy. Like, I can pop up my Google Calendar and I always have it up on a tab, and it just shows me everything that I've got, not only for like today or the next couple of days, it shows me everything for as long as I care to schedule things out. So for Electrician U, we've got some trips coming up that my whole team has to be on, so all the flight information, when we're going, all of that's already saved, so my entire team can look at this calendar and understand what we've got going on. And by the way, Jobber, that I mentioned a second ago, syncs with Google Calendars. Now, the next thing of like staying on top of things that I use daily, all day long, is the Todoist. It's an app that is basically like a list making sort of an app. And that may not seem all cool and sexy, but once you open it up and you realize like, whoa, I can literally anytime I have a thought, I can add it to a list, and it keeps an entire inbox of all the crazy ideas and things that you've got going on. If you're like me, I am a power focused person. I focus so intensely on one thing that I won't even look up, and 18 hours have gone by. So I just have a very singular focus, which means the multitasking thing is like, la 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 la. Things just fall through the cracks and become problems because I don't get to them. So I need something to keep all of the extraneous things that are going on so I know when to do them. And the coolest thing about the Todoist is it allows you to schedule and put time allotments together. So my whole days are set up when I'm not in the field and I actually have these jobs to do, when I'm having like an office day or like an Electrician U day or whatever. I have these time blocks of like 2-hour blocks, and there's 5 of them throughout the day. And then I do like a little 30 minutes in between each one to like go outside and throw balls with dogs or like check in with my team or whatever. But these 2-hour blocks, I can put little subtasks in. And then if I've just got some time and I'm like, crap, I got some time to do some stuff, what's on my list of stuff that I need to do? I can go into my inbox and it just shows everything that I've been saving. So it's just a way for you to get that little bit of a dopamine hit by checking lists off and like, you know, making things disappear from a list. I love that. I've always just like written lists everywhere. But again, the problem is I'll write a list and it's on the refrigerator at my house, or it's like in my car, but I drove the work van today. So like having an entire list that's digital, and it also syncs with your Google Calendar. So just another really killer tool to use if you run a business. Another thing that I do is I have this software called Ring Central, and it's a phone system. So it allows you to do voice over IP, and nobody really knows that it's not your cell phone. They just text you and you can text them back. They call you, but it calls through an app to your phone. So that way people don't have to know what my personal phone number is. So I know if a call is coming in, it's a business call. If I know a regular call is coming in, it's like from my family or something like that. So I use Ring Central, and so does my office, and you can set up different extensions and all of that kind of stuff. It kind of brings like a businessy feel to your business. If you want to be like, you know, if you're calling for a new estimate, press 1. If you're like, you want to talk to a manager, press 2. Like all those things that like professional phone systems do, Ring Central does it, and it does it in an app on your phone. The next thing that I use is Trello. So Trello is a way for me to manage projects. I have so many projects going on at any given time. With Electrician U, we've got all of the different video content ideas. We've got different courses and stuff that we've built into our learning system. We've got all these different projects and things that we are developing for the future. And then for electrical contracting too, like if I've got a whole bunch of different jobs going on, I've got like this residential thing that I'm building, and I've got this service call, and I've got this property, and I've got all these different things going on. I usually have lists of things that are going on within every single project. So what's cool about Trello is that you can just add little cards. Each one of these is a card that I can move around anywhere that I want. So a lot of times I'll put different phases of a project in here, and you can label these whatever you want. You can color them, you can add schedules to them, assign people to them. But like this one's yellow, that's just all my ideas. So every new idea I can put different ideas, and then as I do something with them, if I need to like record something, I've got like a recorded column. But even as an electrical contractor, if I've got different phases of things, like the whole company, there's like a life cycle of a job, right? And it starts from like initially they just called, so I could put all the things that have just called for the day, like brand new leads that I need to follow up with. I've got things that need to have estimates done, so I've got like a stack of things that are like estimates that I know I need to do, and then I can move them over to completed. So if I've got estimates that are all finished, then I have another column for that. If I've got stuff that needs to be scheduled, I've got like a scheduling side, and then I've got a completed side. So when I'm moving this job through each phase of the things that I'm doing with it, my whole team can track where I'm at with that job. And then when I'm finally finished, if I need to invoice for it or the invoice is done, it just lets anybody on the team know exactly where things are. So it's a great thing with teams, especially like the office and admin side of a company, for you all to work together collaboratively on all of these different projects and things that you've got going on. It's just a really killer tool, and it's revolutionized how we manage all of the different projects as a team that works together, especially since we're so remote all over the US. The last thing that I want to talk about is you can pick which one you like, but using some sort of an AI large language model. AI softwares have changed everything about my life and my business. It literally 100x's everything my team does, and it's no longer are you having to like think of every single thing and like do math on paper and figure out your life and like plans that you have for businesses. It can do it all, and it can do it in a split second for you. So it's not a tool that I think people should have AI do everything for you. The way I use is it's like a reflection, like a mirror. So if I want to know something, I don't go to Google anymore and just like have to search through all these dumb like search results and go to click on one, nope, that's not the one I'm looking for, click on another one, nope. I just ask ChatGPT, okay, I need to develop a business plan for this new idea that I have, this new crazy thing I want to build. I have no clue how to do any of this stuff. What I want you to do is pretend that you're a professional programmer, and I want you to give me the whole thing. How does the steps work? How much does something like this cost? And boom, you have an answer immediately. So when I say it 100x's your time, it's literally things that you would have to take time and get feedback from a person over like a week, waiting email games and all of that. It's just a way for you to get information, volumes of it, but it's also a way for you to organize thoughts and plan things for the future and get feedback on opinions and creative ideas and stuff that you have. It literally has changed everything about my life just as a person. I do all my calculus homework through ChatGPT. I'll say, hey, we're studying integrals this week and I want you to teach me everything there is about integrals. I want you to give me 20 variations of integral problems starting from like the most basic to the most advanced. Let's practice with derivatives. Like I use it for everything. Literally anything where I'm like, crap, this is gonna take forever, or like, crap, I don't know how to do this. I open up either Grok or Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT. I don't really use Microsoft Copilot because I just don't use a lot of like Microsoft stuff. But dude, it's changed everything about what I do, and everybody that I know that I've gotten into it now uses it all day, every day. I've put like product ideas into it and getting like pictures for new products. Like, dude, it's kind of endless. It is a little scary for those of you that are like anti-AI. I get it, I get the argument, but as somebody that's been an all day, everyday user from its inception, my life I wouldn't be nowhere near where I'm at today if it weren't for the invent of these LLMs. So I highly recommend, as a business owner, specifically as an ideas person, somebody that's always trying to go places and like create new things, definitely get into the LLM thing and get into ChatGPT is probably the best like entry model into it. Now, the one thing I do have to caution is that you need to double check, because some of the answers that they give, especially for like really complex physics and electrical calculations, electrical code, don't trust it at all. It just gives information because its job is to reply to you, but sometimes instead of just saying, I don't know, it's just like, oh, here's all of these things. And it's like, no, dude, every one of those are wrong. So it does come with a caveat. You do need to have it fact check itself or get another AI to fact check one AI. So there's little cumbersome things like that in any kind of new technology, that not every piece of software that you get is going to do every single thing that you need it to do. But my challenge for you is to just start incorporating things that you can have on your phone, because it's the most important tool that you've got on you all day, every day, and we couldn't exist without them. And then find ways to integrate things on your phone so that you've got everything, your entire business is available to you on this device. Now, before we go, I mentioned Jobber. Jobber sponsored this video, so thank you, Jobber, so much for sponsoring the video, but they're giving a deal. So any of you guys that want to try Jobber out, there's a 14-day free trial on there. There's a link in the description below. I highly recommend that you use it. You're going to get in there and be like, holy crap, business is easier now. So if you're interested in more, check the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you crazy people, and I will see you in the next one.